Oh my God, it's Sunday night and Shop Talk's back on the air. Well, almost 9 minutes, 49 seconds and counting till we go live with Shop Talk. So glad to be back. Oh my God, it seems like forever. We haven't been able to bust balls or talk shit for quite a long time, but get ready. Pull up your panties, Nancy. Here it comes. Shop Talk live Sunday night. 9 minutes. Grab something cold, get ready. All right, looks like you guys might have missed us as much as we miss being here. Spark plug in the house, Greg White. Hey, Greg, saw your layout in Cop Terry this month. That's killer, man. John Frew in the house. Shane, can't wait. Let's get some shit kicking. Right on. Willie Jones in the house. My man, getting ready for Willie's Chopper Time coming up. Biketoberfest, quicker than you know it. Dennis Frame in the house. Shane from Southern Ohio, good to see you here. Tony Tello, what's up, baby? Nancy Weems, always good to see you here. Hey, man, make sure you hit the share and like button so your friends know when we go live with this show. We put a little bit of effort into it. It's a regular Sunday tradition now all of a sudden, and it's really good for us to see you guys here and interact too. So make sure you throw up your town name. Tell us where you're proud to be from. Get ready. Just about 5 minutes, we're going live with Shop Talk. Long Island in the house. That's where our boy Mark's from. He keeps telling us to come up there and visit. We'll be up shortly, probably in the spring by now. Looks like we're headed out west. Man, it's good to see all you guys here. I'm Chris with Cycle Source Magazine, just 2 minutes away from going live with Shop Talk. We're back on the air after our Sturgis hiatus. In case you're wondering, tonight's show is the Sturgis recap, man. We're going to talk about Sturgis, go over some of the facts, some of the COVID facts, some of the tax facts, some of the bullshit that went on out there, and the time that we had, because, man, it was all good. 460,000 people. Minute and a half, man. Minute and a half, we're going live. Just letting that social media audience build up real quick here. And we're going live with Shop Talk. Okay, getting down to under a minute. That means we're going to pull this one out of the station, get it up on the tracks. Oh my God, it feels so good to say that after such a long break. Going live with Shop Talk. Here we go. Okay, scooter tramps and chopper jockeys all across the land. It's just after 9 p.m., close as we've been in quite some time, I think. And we're going live with Shop Talk. Good to see all you guys here, man. Sean Smith in the house. Eduardo, what's up, baby? Good to see you here. All of our Choppertown family, we got to say, big shout out. Choppertown is so supportive of what we do here on Shop Talk. In case this is your first time watching, this is how it goes down. 60, 90, 120 minutes, whatever we fit into that time. All the bullshit we can fit is what we say, and it's a great little program. We cover some motorcycle news. We have a guest or two. Tonight's show is going to be our Sturgis recap, and as always, I'm joined by my crew. What's up, crew?
What up?
Hey.
Sturgis.
Long time no see, everybody.
I know, right?
Can I just say that 10 minutes is like the longest 10
dude,
minutes
you're not kidding.
ever. You get so excited to do the show, and it's like...
It's like the
Okay,
Heinz
now
ketchup
wait.
thing.
So what's up, Blondie? What's going on? We're back from Sturgis.
For a hot minute, we spent a month out there.
I know, it was so good.
And it was awesome. And I still kind of didn't want to come back.
That's part of what we're going to talk about tonight. For those of you guys that never have hung around Sturgis, South Dakota when the rally's over, man, there's a whole other world that goes on there.
It's pretty, it was awesome. And I mean, we were not intending to be there for that long. Some circumstances extended our stay, but in a lot of ways, I'm very glad it did.
Mark came home.
And I'm pissed I
Mark's
did.
been
I mean,
home.
I stayed out there and hung out with them guys on the motorcycles and missed all the cool guys with the cars.
Right.
Although
I'm a little
it's
upset
my
about
understanding, didn't we bring the sunshine with us? It was like rainy and gloomy, and then
It
we
was.
got home and it's sunny and blue skies.
It was way less painful when it was rainy, though, because Chris wasn't here. But it's okay. It's all right.
Hey, this
I'll
is
take
the
him back.
first time you've seen him since we've been home.
I know, dude. We never really spend time apart, and
Separation
people don't.
anxiety.
Yeah, people don't realize we spend. Me and Chris spend a lot of time together. So we have for 30 years now.
Yes, buddy. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
So I'm going to nip this one right in the bud. Rod Duke, you guys sick? No, we weren't actually sick, Rod. Our puppy, Mr. Smalls, if you follow Chris and I, he actually had emergency surgery due to a blockage in his intestines and his stomach. And
Now,
because of
wait,
that,
just-
we were
just-
unable to travel.
Wait a minute. I have to clear this up, because to say that he had a blockage in his intestines and he had a surgery, no. We decided to leave the dogs in the cabin, the air-conditioned cabin. Now wait, let me just go
That-
over.
you-
I need to set the
Big
stage.
fish. Big fish.
So I need to set the stage because we leave the dogs in the air-conditioned cabin because it's going to be too hot for them outside. Well, our little dog gets pissed off by this, and he decides to eat everything in the cabin. He eats part of a bone, part of a rope. I suspected part of Heather's bra, and
Your hairbrush.
a part of my hairbrush. And when we came back that night, he started looking bad. So off to the vet we went, and we can't say enough about the Spearfish Animal Hospital because they were awesome. Really took care of him. They got him in for an emergency surgery and saved our little boy's life. So thank you for them. But
Yeah, poor little
Mr.
dude's got a belly
Smalls-
full of staples.
Mr. Smalls is on double secret probation right now. And that's
Yeah.
no shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I was-
no, Rod, we weren't sick. Our dog just ate something he should not have.
I watched Goldmember today, and with the fat bastards get in my belly. Every time I hear that, I think of Mr. Smalls get in my belly.
Oh, my God.
Poor Mr. Smalls.
It was terrible. Greg White, my sleeping bag will never be the same. They totally violated
Dude,
Greg's sleeping
That
bag.
was pretty awesome. He had a heating blanket on his heating blanket, so he was all fixed up. Nugget thought that was her bed.
Yes, she did.
I know, we have to buy her a cot. I should have been prepared and had pictures of them.
So, Blondie, before we go on with the show, what do we got coming in from social media? We see,
Oh, my
I see
goodness.
some people here, but
Russ Journey, hi guys from Candy, Nebraska. Missed you in Sturgis. Ken Finley's here. Nancy Weems. Let's see, Sean Smith. Dennis Frame.
you're afraid
I'm
to say Mr.
scrolling.
Jamel's name, aren't you? You're afraid.
Yes.
That name's scaring you.
I just skipped it. Thumbs up, little dude. We'll stick with that. Oh. So yeah, I'm glad to be back. I really am.
Right on.
It was a long. Dogs matter. Yes,
Yes,
dogs
they do.
matter, especially our dogs.
All right, man. So, like I said, if this is your first time watching, we do 90 to 120 minutes of all the bullshit that we fit, coming to you live every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. Remember, Dennis Kirk ships today, so if you're last minute Larry like me, you can get them chopper parts quick. Yeah, man, we're looking for you guys to participate. Don't just sit there and listen to us. You know, the chat box is going throughout most of the show. We want to know what your opinions are about the topics that come up throughout the night. A lot of stuff going on this evening. It's going to be our Sturgis recap, but just like every show, we start off with a little program we call The News. The News.
Wipe the dust
It's
off.
been so long.
Oh
you
my
forgot how to push
God.
buttons.
First up in the news tonight, and of course we have to talk about it. First coronavirus death tied to Sturgis motorcycle rally. A biker in his 60s who attended the famous Sturgis motorcycle rally in August has died from COVID-19, according to the Washington Post, becoming the first known death with links to the rally that attracted hundreds of thousands of visitors and led to an outbreak of nearly 300 cases across 11 states. Minnesota Department of Health and Infectious Disease Director Chris Ersman told the Post a biker in his 60s with underlying conditions died from coronavirus after returning home from the rally and spending weeks in intensive care. We wanted to put this up here first so we can say, first and foremost, we absolutely do not dispute the fact that there is a coronavirus and it is serious. It is taking its toll across the country. Some of the facts that we're going to show you tonight, just to report the facts and not to argue one way or another about the scientific findings or the medical findings behind them, but, you know, plain and simple, the facts are going to go both ways. So, obviously, our hearts and prayers go out to his family. And when you consider what they're saying about, you know, an outbreak that happened preceding the Sturgis rally of 300 cases across 11
Nearly.
states.
It's actually hovering at right around 260 cases across 11 states.
Yeah,
But
and you actually
the official
have.
attendance,
There you go.
I've got some actual statistics. Whew, that was hard to say. There were actually 462,182 people that were at this 2020 Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. which is actually down 7% from last year, 7.5% from last year. And considering that they were only anticipating 250,000,
Yeah.
you know,
Not
it's
bad for
pretty
a rally
crazy.
that wasn't even gonna go on.
No, I know, it's crazy. I mean, so much was up, a lot of it. Oh, I don't know what those statistics are.
Well, these are some of
scrolling.
the additional statistics that go along with the fact
Can
that,
I go through the other stat
Yeah.
sheets? Because some of them are funny. All right, so this year there were 367 drug arrests compared to 211 last year. Non-injury accidents 50, injury accidents 56, slightly up over last year. DUI arrests 145, which is down from 171. Money seized by authorities $18,763. Authorities nabbed that mostly due to drug arrests made during traffic stops, according to Sturgis. Money collected for seniors was 17,158. That's pretty cool. So,
from or for?
4. That was 4, and that was
Were
for
they
the
senior
Sturgis
drug
Meals on
arrests by
Wheels
chance?
fundraiser. What's that?
Were they senior drug arrests by chance?
You stay away from
So
my
that-
pot. Stay away from my pot, copper.
Hey, no, that was actually a lot of good done for Sturgis Meals on Wheels. 17 grand was raised, and 5,000 of that came from Dixon Flannel Company.
Right on.
Yeah, so that's awesome. So there was a lot of good stuff done.
And think about it. I
during
mean,
there.
the
Good
numbers,
stuff, bad stuff.
the numbers that you threw out there were what did they add up to? Maybe 600 out of 400,000 people. I mean, in all reality, all the
absolutely.
riding and all the miles that were put on. I mean, it's so minimal. The bad compared to the good. And funny, you hardly hear about the good.
Yep.
Luckily, we brought
Right.
a lot of good to you this year.
And another
So-
another thing that we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about here, from being boots on the ground there, from before the rally started to well after the rally started, there was a constant and current theme that happened throughout the rally, that this was where a lot of people had decided to draw the line in the sand. Where they have been in the dark, they've done the social distancing, the self-quarantine, and everything else that, we've been told that we have to do. But it's, it went from a couple weeks to a couple months to, we're heading into most of 2020. And a lot of people they were all about patriotism, man. They were showing up there as a silent protest and a peaceful protest. And they said that over and over again. These are not my words. I'm not plugging my sentiments in. I'm just saying what we heard from the interviews, because we were on the street around the clock doing the Sturgis Live stuff, man. And it was a constant theme. It really was.
I think one of the things that I noticed most this year was that, yes, the streets were busy, the vendors were busy, but it felt like more people were actually out riding and taking in the sights and actually seeing everything that the Black Hills had to offer, as opposed to staying in town, because it didn't feel congested.
Well,
like, it
what
was
did they-
busy and stuff like that, but it wasn't jam-packed. Everybody was out riding.
What
and
did
they
they
came
tell
earlier
us
and stayed
in
longer.
Custer? When we stopped by Custer in one of our rounds, and they said that the actual park attendance, ticket receipts from the park attendants was exactly the same as last year. So I mean, there is the proof of that, man, that people were out there and getting it.
Yeah, another thing I noticed too, that I mean, we've been there a lot of years in a row. The patriotism was off the charts. There was so many American flags and so many people talking about, USA and proud to be from the USA, and that. I mean, you hear a lot of it, but it was really in the forefront out there, which was pretty cool.
Karen Moore just put up BHM. Does that mean Black Hills matter?
Black Hills matter.
I'm not.
They do.
I'm just looking for clarity, Karen. I just want to know what's up there.
So
yeah.
I go on to another statistic?
Yeah, sure.
So we'll do the taxes.
Yeah.
Sturgis
here you go.
Rally this year collected $1.34 million in taxes, which is up 6% from last year. The interesting thing about this is vendors were down 22% this year, and it was very, very clear. That was one of the most noticeable things this year about the Sturgis Rally, was the lack of vendors. These big gaping holes. Like, there was a bank on LaSalle that we never knew was there because it was always covered up by vendor tents. You could see it this year.
Yep.
But people spent more. Just as a whole, they spent more. They were happier, and they were a little bit freer with their money, I think.
Well, one of the big things to say about that too, and I'm not going to be as brash as to call out company names here. I mean, there's one company name that I will bring up, but what we noticed there were some of the long-standing supporters of this rally who have taken their corporate brands and been so proud to put them right across that main street, and on everything that they could tag something with, they had their corporate brands, and they were missing.
Yep.
And this is the thing about that. This goes down in the history books as the largest rally or the largest event that happened in 2020. This was the largest gathering, and yes, there was skepticism, and there was risk involved, but it was important enough for 460,000 people to show up and put their name on the list of people who attended. You would think that these companies who have enjoyed the association with the motorcycle culture for so long,
profitability,
that you think that they would have been there too. So all I'm going to say about that is make sure you look around when you're looking at these pictures. When you look at all the Sturgis pictures, and you guys are so busy on social media checking that all out, look at all those banners that are up there, and make sure you pay attention to the people that actually came and showed up and supported it.
As opposed to calling out people that didn't show up, why don't we thank the ones that did?
Yeah, right.
Oh, absolutely. Dennis Kirk, Denver's Choppers,
Russ Brown, Twisted Tea,
Law Tigers,
Budweiser, Law Tigers. Amsoil. They all showed up, and they
held events, and they held hospitality, and they
business as usual. And kudos to them, because they did show up.
Now there's one 100-year-old motorcycle manufacturer that I absolutely believe should have been there without question, and all there actually were a few trailers that said that they were out riding. That was seriously disappointing.
Yeah,
because it is undeniably the Sturgis rally, is the largest celebration of the culture that supports that brand, and it just didn't seem right.
They almost tried fooling you.
Yeah.
So don't be taken as a fool.
And that's all I have to say about that.
That's it.
Anybody that's watching, did you go on the carnival? Did you go to the carnival?
Dude.
I think I saw like 8 people in the carnival. When the carnival was packed? The food stand at the end of the night.
Listen,
It was just such a strange sight.
It was.
Like, you expect to see it in Galveston. There's a carnival pier that's there 365 days a year.
A Ferris wheel
some places you see it.
Was not normal.
Yep. No, and that was my favorite part. Like, for you guys that don't know, we did a program, 3-hour documentary actually, called Sturgis Live, 80 Years in a Day. And it was a documentary about the 80th anniversary. But not just that. It was, also the history of Deadwood, the history of Sturgis, the military history of the area. I was so proud to be a part of that. But I was
learned about the enduring pioneer spirit.
Oh, wait, and this. Can't forget this.
Yeah, this here.
This and here. The westward expansion.
And my turkey arm, whatever the hell that was all about.
Oh, that.
Oh, Chris, thank you so much. Chris has been watching me. One of my highlights for Sturgis was after Sturgis was over. So after Sturgis was over, I had the unparalleled privilege of sitting down every morning with Panhead Billy Burrows for 2 to 3 hours a day. And it was 7 or 8 days straight that I did this. And the first day or two, it happened by accident. We just ended up at the same little convenience store, right at the corner on the way out to the Buffalo Chip. And people that go out to Sturgis a lot will know what I'm talking about. But then it was just every day we met out there. And one day he'd bring Joe Sparrow. Another day he brought Randy from the swap meet. And it just became this great thing that Heather dubbed Old Guy Coffee Hour. And man, I learned so much about this cat, and like once I get oh my God, he's one of the best human beings.
The kindest, happiest, most positive souls I have ever had the pleasure of meeting.
And if you guys don't know who he is,
and again, he's the proven point of don't ever judge a book by its cover.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Chris, can you bring your painting up?
I'll give it a shot.
Can you go to Facebook?
But
while you do that, Rod Duke, do you work for Knight Rider Jewelry? He says that they were up 35% from last year. That's amazing.
Wow.
And if you don't know Knight Rider Jewelry, an incredible American-made craftsman. Michael Woods, I did and had a great time. 2,823 miles round trip from Oregon, solo, old school, no plan, no reservations.
Right on.
Hell yes, Michael. Good for you.
Okay, so here's my humble painting, and I want to thank Chris for being so kind to me, because she actually knows some real artists with super talent, and I just do this when I find somebody, you know, interesting and important to our culture. I'll take the time to do an oil painting of them, but I don't at all put myself in the ranks of today's top artists in motorcycle.
Okay.
This is
Wait
a privilege.
Minute. Let me tell you guys that Chris blew his back out, and yes, this is me patting my husband on the back. It's recorded, so I have proof that I did it. He started this painting yesterday.
And it's still got a long way to
He's
go.
literally, like, he lays on the floor for a few hours just to get his back right, and then he goes out and he works on this painting for a little bit. He'll come in and he'll lay on the floor for a few hours.
All right, well, that's enough ass kissing for one night.
Yeah.
Now,
this is day 2 of this painting.
And here's what I want to say about it. The reason why it begs the 60 to 80 hours that I'll put into this before it's done is the man that is standing behind that motorcycle, and that motorcycle itself. Like, when you see Billy roll up, as many people consider that motorcycle an old friend as they do the man that's riding it.
Yeah.
And when you hear his story about, he has been to every Harley-Davidson dealership in the country, all the capitals of this nation. I can't even tell you how many miles, but, you know, numerous times I've seen him pop up at the Salt Flats when I've been there, events in California. You know, he's from the New England states originally, but like literally.
He's from Haverhill, Massachusetts.
Yep. So it was just great to get to hear his story and learn more about this man that I've admired from, you know, for so many years. But I've got to really, really know him, and that was what was important.
Let me tell you, we did the interview with him for while we were doing the filming, and it was the end of the day. It's a drag strip. It was hot. I was tired, and we brought him outside and set it up. And I can tell you, what was that interview? 35, 40 minutes. It was 35 or 40 minutes of absolute bliss. He was so interesting, such a humble, down-to-earth man. Like I said, please, if you take anything from him, don't ever judge a book by its cover.
Absolutely.
This guy here would go anywhere for anybody. Just one of the nicest people you'd ever stop to talk with. So.
Oh, thanks, Mike. Hey, listen, Tony Tello Sr., thank you so much. He said we had 13 guests to watch Sturgis live. It was a great show, very informative. We had a ball watching it. This was seriously, man, the best thing any of us have done. You know, Jack Schitt was there working with us, Pat Jansen, you know, Mark, all of the rest of our crew. We had some new crew with us. Actually, Gus, Greg White, who's watching the show tonight, was invaluable for his role in all of this. And it was so great, because for every time you've seen a show about Sturgis where they talk about crazy drunk naked people getting arrested, you know, we finally got to tell the real story that's behind Sturgis. The fact that for 80 years motorcycles have been going there, but it's no mistake, because for hundreds of years, people who were ready to turn their back on conventional society and just walk away for a chance at something better and head off to a place where they didn't know anybody, they didn't know if they'd live or die, if they were going to find disease or riches and reward when they got there, and they did it anyway. And that's the foundation of freedom, man.
And almost on the same ground, keep in mind that Chris and Pat pretty much wrote the whole thing. I mean, in all reality, it was Chris's baby. Chris and Pat wrote the whole thing, but let's not forget the same pioneer spirit, as has been said a million times. 30 days.
Where's my
prior,
shot?
I know, right?
Listen, the inside joke about that, we have to say that. The inside joke is, we said enduring pioneer spirit so many times we turned it into a drinking game.
Yeah, right.
In 3 hours, like, you don't realize how many times you might say the same phrase.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. So it goes back to even before the actual program. Chris would get so excited, and he had to tell everybody about this project he was working on. So literally 12 times a day, I would hear enduring pioneer spirit, westward expansion, and rugged individualism. And by the time we got to Sturgis, I thought I was going to jump out of the truck if he said it one more time.
Listen, if you guys are not familiar with the program that we talked about, we have a couple trailers that we're gonna play here tonight throughout the evening. So we're gonna roll one of those right now. Okay, so Heather actually beat me to it with the link, but we had some exciting news to share with you guys tonight. We had an exclusive deal with Fight TV to put this thing out for the first couple weeks, and we listened to a lot of you guys. It's hard times across the country, and everybody was looking for a different way to do this. So we're actually expanding. We're working on a deal right now that hopefully by the holiday season, you'll be able to either rent this on Amazon Prime and possibly buy a hard copy DVD of it. But for now, Heather has taken the time and effort to figure out how to get this onto Vimeo, and there's now a rental opportunity. So you can rent this for 72 hours for $3.99, or you can also buy it and stream it anytime for $9.99. If you just go to Vimeo, search for Sturgis Live 80 Years in a Day, you can watch us on your Roku through television, you can watch it on your Amazon Fire Stick, and you can watch it on Apple TV as well. And it's a great program that we're super proud of. And if you have no idea what waits for you out in Sturgis, man, this is a really good information center for what goes on.
And like I was saying before, like these people going out there and taking a chance in the same game, Chris did the same thing 30 days prior to this. He didn't leave his house. He transformed his van into literally a rolling studio, which we're actually sitting in doing the show from right now, as cool as that is.
Yep.
But the coolest part about the whole thing was we all went out there not having an effing clue what we were doing. I mean, they stuck a camera in my hand and in Amelia, Pat Jansen's daughter's hand, and we had never worked cameras before.
Yeah.
Everybody really took a chance. And if anybody knows me well enough, I have issues leaving my family to go do this stuff. And I'll tell you, when we come home, me and Dana had talked about it multiple times. Probably one of the coolest things I've ever done in my 20-some years in this industry.
And that goes a long mark. Like, honestly, if you think about almost 25 years ago now,
yep.
Us sitting in what was then your girlfriend's family strip club,
yep.
talking about starting Cycle Source,
and
none of us knew how to use a computer.
No.
We were using remember the paper disposable cameras? That's what we shot our feature bikes with and everything. So we never really knew what we were doing.
I vividly remember the grease board with all the different names of the magazine on it that would erase and write the names on.
Oh, remember when we were going to call it the bike rag? Bike rag
the
for
bike
a while.
rag.
Yeah, and everybody said, no, it sounds too much like a tampon. So.
Yep.
No, it's come a long way. But to say now, 25 years later, that one of the coolest things that we've ever done was 25 years later through all this, you got to take the time and watch it.
Took it long enough.
Right. Well, never said we were quick learners.
Hey, and listen, we learned so much stuff through this. Like you can get ready.
So much.
You can get ready for some incredible programs coming up. Go ahead.
I learned that the dog's bed is really comfortable.
And see, you can survive on maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours of sleep a night.
Oh.
So
no, but we did. We learned so much through this whole process.
Yeah, you can expect some great programs to come up now, because now we know what we're doing. We're going to hit the road hard.
I think day 6, if you had asked me, I would have been like, scrap it all. We're done. I'm not doing this anymore.
Well, I said some of my most enjoyable parts of this whole thing were the dinners. the coming back at the end of the night and getting all together.
Oh,
And
my God.
favorite thing was watching Chris's head explode whenever something would go wrong on the computer. So,
Oh my God.
you know, that was the joy of my evening. I enjoy nothing more than seeing Chris aggravated. I got that multiple times.
Well, let's go
But-
back to the news for a little bit right now.
Fine. This was fun.
I'm
You
sorry.
ruined,
We'll get back
party
to the fun in a
pooper.
minute. For now, we have to talk about City of Sturgis releases community COVID-19 testing results following rally. City
Can
of
we
Sturgis,
just give the synopsis?
City of Sturgis
Yes.
recently conducted a mass
Can
COVID-19
you read
testing
faster?
event following the
Wait a minute.
2020 Sturgis motorcycle
1,300
rally.
tests available. 650 were taken advantage of. 26 26 asymptomatic positive tests. So less than 4% of the people that took advantage of the test tested positive. And those people ranged from just community residents to frontline workers to people who dealt with the public on a up and close personal basis.
I can't tell you, not one time did we drive by that hospital and see a car in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So we had, multiple times when me, Jack, and Dana were going on our way, would go out of our way just to see, not thinking you get COVID, you're going to end up in the hospital, but somewhere along the line you'd have figured you're going to go to the hospital and get checked. I don't think we ever saw more than a few cars in that parking lot. So,
Well, and I think one of the biggest things to talk about too is the fact that, Sturgis, and we have to say this right here and right now. The governor of South Dakota, what's her name, Heather?
Kristi Noem.
Kristi Noem is a total badass. Totally
Yes.
understands the relationship between her office and her constituents, and has done the right thing over and over again for her people. And it started with her, trickled down to the county and state governments, and and they gave everybody the freedom to do this thing, but it paid off. It paid off in the fact that, like, a town that may have been completely bankrupt
Right.
without the benefit of that tax base that comes in through the rally, they took the gamble and it paid off.
what is it, 8,500 people live
6,600.
there?
Yeah,
6,600? I
6,600.
can't tell you how many times I heard somebody say one of the reasons that they made sure they made it there was to support the people of that town.
Yeah.
So,
And I was so happy to see that even though attendance was down and vendors were down, that tax revenue was up
Yeah.
for that community, because it is a small community, but boy, do they take care of their
Oh, yeah,
community.
they do.
The
Yeah.
community amenities that Sturgis has put out, thanks to the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, are incredible.
yep.
They
And it
do
kept
drive-in movies in the park and
Yep.
a
And it
beautiful
kept the
senior
EMT
center and a
funded.
civic center.
Yeah.
Yep, it kept the EMT
Yeah.
funded, the police funded, it kept the
Absolutely.
fire departments funded. Like, that's what that's all about.
And I'll
They've
tell
got
you
some
what.
of the nicest soccer fields I've ever seen,
Right.
and I'm
Right.
not a soccer mom.
Yeah, right.
And for a town of 6,600 people, they have some incredible
Yeah.
amenities. So regardless, there's usually some chapped asses after Sturgis that talk about getting shaken down by the man. And I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes it's a pain in the ass, man. But the city by and large really takes care of its town.
Yeah, and if you live
You
in a
know.
big city, you get shaken down anyway. So
Yeah.
if you think going to
You know-
Sturgis,
One of the things that we want to bitch about, though, can I bring this up now?
boy.
So one of the
It
things,
depends.
there were several things throughout the rally that were, traditional Sturgis staples, like the flyover from the bomber group and the pictures on Main Street. Like, usually during Sturgis, if you don't know this, every day there's a group gathering for a picture of Main Street just flooded with people, and that was called off to try to fit people's apprehensions about the virus. A week later or 2 weeks later, the Mustang rally, which you might not know this if you're just motorcycle people, but there, like I said, from the minute Sturgis is over and they clean the streets, other events start happening there. There's Cool Deadwood
And
Nights.
super cool
Oh,
events.
super cool. And let's just, while we're talking about this for a minute, we're going to run some footage that we have from Cool Deadwood Nights. Now, this happens up in Deadwood for days.
So irritated right now.
For days.
Oh my God.
There
it was
are,
such a cool event.
What'd we go to, Heather? 7 different parking lots where cars
Oh
like
yeah,
this were
concerts
parked.
in the street, and
They
it just
they
it was
shut all
such
of
a cool thing.
Main Street Deadwood down, and they do giant concerts with, like, seriously, stadium level production. Really, really. I mean, the cars. I saw every car I ever wanted as a kid. Look, there's a GTO Judge.
I saw every car that I ever wanted as an adult.
But this is the kind of stuff that goes on, and I mean, you know, for the national media's attempt. Look, Mark, no pillar, pillar and Impala, baby, right there.
Ooh.
So for the national media's attempt to demonize us, it is not the only event that's going on in South Dakota. The town was packed for Cool Deadwood Nights
right now. You know,
I learned the difference between a '56 and a '57 Chevy.
Go ahead, let's hear
while
it. While
I was there.
How do you tell?
Oh, don't. Where the gas cap is.
Okay.
Well, that's one. But
I'll
tell you, you had the opportunity.
Come on, hey, that's one of them. I just learned.
Man, and there were just so like I said, I think we went through 7 different parking lots.
Right. Well, taillights.
The grill is different. The taillights, the grill, and the gas cap.
This little bit happened. There was 2 or 3 days of drifting between Cool Deadwood Nights and the official start of the Mustang Rally. This was just drifting clubs came in and put on exhibitions, man, and I don't know if there were prizes or anything, but it was right across the street from the Steel Pony Campground. So almost every day we got to see as much drifting as we wanted.
You know, probably the irritating part about this for me is if anybody knows us, it's flat broke chops and rods.
And I'm the chops.
Yeah, and guess who got to go to the hot rod shows? Ass hat. But wait, he sent me a lot of pictures. So
I did.
Nice guy.
I was thinking of you.
Real
I'm a giver.
Nice guy.
I'm a giver. So yeah, that was post Sturgis. But here's one of the things that we want to say, because of maybe I'm suspecting it was because of the pressure that was being put on city officials
originally.
Yeah,
for the show,
that they called off some important things of the rally, which you might not think that the official rally picture is an important thing, but it really marks every year, and it gives everybody an opportunity to participate in a piece of history. And it was called off, so there wasn't the traditional, everybody flooding Main Street for that great picture. But 2 weeks later, the Mustang Rally, look at that.
Can we Photoshop ourselves into that?
I think we could probably even Photoshop out the Mustangs and put some motorcycles there and stuff and pretend that it was. No, we can't do that. But I'm just saying, look. What was the difference? Does the virus also know the difference between Mustangs and motorcycles? Because that's a hell of a virus.
Well, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
You're just not going to let me live that down, right?
In general, everybody exercised their own precautions, they were comfortable with.
Some people wore masks. Some people didn't.
Yeah.
They had plenty of hand sanitizer stations all over the city. And they had signs like this on them.
Look just like that. The funny part about it is the caution. And Chris said before, man, we don't for 1 second take any of this as a joke or like it's not real. I live with my 85-year-old father, and I come home from work, and I work in this crap every day and concern myself with bringing something home to him.
Yeah.
So all of us go in there with families, and not anybody wants to see anybody be hurt, but the point is, you can't stop your lives.
You gotta
still
live.
Have to go.
You gotta live, man.
And I'm glad that we were able to pull off what we pulled off while we were there. Again, we've been to Sturgis more times than I can count, and I'm going to say this may be my favorite Sturgis I've ever been to. So
Mark, I want to talk about a Sturgis highlight for flat broke chops and rods, and I'm not saying this for my benefit, but you were heavily involved in a bike that we built called the Bone Daddy.
Oh yeah.
And super, when I think about it now too, but at the end of Sturgis Live, we do a tribute to Charlie Brechtel, who passed away this year.
Yep.
And Charlie was part of the inspiration for that motorcycle because of all the talk with voodoo culture and everything, because Charlie grew up in Aunt Mamie's whorehouse in Louisiana, and
I remember talking to him about the Gree-Gree.
Yeah.
We put on it when we built that, yeah. That
motorcycle, I'm very proud to say, in a unbiased format, took Best of Show at the Sportster Showdown, and that was, you were there and took the trophy. And
yeah, it was pretty awesome. It was an honor, and to be chosen out of that group, first off, was pretty fantastic. And I instantly called you to let you know what was going on, but the story was that they told me there was 5 judges, and they all got a piece of paper and were told to write their numbers down, and all 5 picked that bike for the Best of Show. And when it was over, first off, stupid motorcycles, that's one of my great lines. But Pat Patterson, obviously Camp Zero, Sports of Showdown, Lead Sled, had said that, thanking Pat, because me and Chris really don't do much of anything without Lead Sled, and vice versa. We've been together for a really long time.
Oh, Jesus, I've been with him almost as long as I've been with you.
Right. And, Pat's my brother through and through. I've worked at Lead Sled for a while and lived with Pat and Jen, and, can't say enough good about them and Jeff and Cher. But Pat had said that some of the greatest lines on a motorcycle that Chris designed, Bone Daddy, and that was made me super proud to be a part of that. And for them to hand us that award meant more, I can't say meant more than being in the Lichter show, but was so coming directly from Pat was huge for me. So,
Chris, can I put you on the spot and have you jump to your Facebook page so they can see it?
Yeah, look at that. I'm actually keeping pace with you, lockstep, baby, right there.
Wow.
So yeah, that's our Bone Daddy, and I have to thank Pat Patterson, because years and years ago I would never think of building a Sportster.
Yeah.
Like at all. And me and Mark have had so much fun building motorcycles on this platform. And, I would have never thought it, but, Pat, a long time ago, Pat sat down to, his words were to make Sportsters cool again.
And what he did.
And he really did, man. He makes some great parts for it, and he's helped us design some wicked cool parts and shit, too. So.
And again, another person that we definitely can't thank enough is Ronnie Tonetti from North Hill Cycles.
Yeah, because Ronnie stepped in with us. It was three of us and Walter.
Yeah, poor Walter still hasn't caught up on his sleep. But,
so Walter's Ronnie's little dog, and man, we were just around the clock at Ronnie's place doing that paint job.
Yeah, we were having trouble with our paint booth, and Ronnie's such a good friend and such an experienced, fantastic painter that it was, another person that we're comfortable working with just made it so easy to knock out something that we knew was going to be a home run. So
Tom Kiefer says he wants one. It's on its way. We actually have a roller. We're working on a project with Tom Kiefer this winter, but hang on for more information about that. For now, we got to get back to the news. Jesus, is anybody running this shit?
People want to talk about Sturgis. People want to see pictures of Sturgis. Who cares about the news?
Well,
I'm just kidding.
let's do that. That's part
I'm just kidding.
Hey, you know what?
I'm with you. So
Here's a piece of news. This is unhappy and unfortunate news that we have to talk about that happened while we've been away.
Yeah.
A lot of you guys will know, longtime brother of all of us here at the magazine, one of the original Hoka riders. Rob and I did the first ever Hoka. This year on the Hoka Challenge, he was hit by a pickup truck coming the opposite way and sustained some pretty serious injuries. From all reports, it sounds like he's on his way to recovery, but it's going to be a long, long road to recovery. So if you would go to GoFundMe.com, if you have $1 or $5 or $10,
I'll put a link up,
or $100, go check out Rob's page, because he is the sole provider for his family. And during his recovery, we don't want him to have to worry about anything.
And his whole family is still in North Carolina with him in the hospital. So they've never come home. I talk to Karen at least every other day. Like Chris said, Rob's one of our dearest, oldest friends, and probably one of the best riders I've ever ridden with. And anybody who's ever ridden with him is going to... This is positive proof that it can happen to anybody. Please pay attention out there, because you never know when it's coming. So anything you can do for him, he's slowly getting a little better. Things haven't really changed a lot, but if there's anything you can do to help him, please, for the good of a great man, please share, please offer help.
I'm gonna throw that link up now. Can I do something happy after that sad news about Rob?
Absolutely.
So I have the brand new, just arrived issue.
Wait. Is Brandon watching?
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead and set this up.
Ready? So this is hot off the press. This is our newest issue 281 of Cycle Source magazine. It is a double issue filled with 116 pages, 7 feature bikes, tech articles. Actually, our Sturgis story and Sturgis pictures are in here. But I just wanted to show everybody the cover of this. Hopefully they can see it.
Oh, yeah.
That beautiful bike there is built by Brandon Keene of Be Keen Built.
Yeah, buddy.
And he didn't know that I might be throwing her under the bus, but before I sent this to print, I FaceTimed Amy, his amazing wife, this cover. And she literally broke down into tears when she saw it, because they are just that kind of people. Both Brandon and Amy are incredible people, and we're so happy to be able to feature works from people like him. But there's his spread. So subscribers, you should get this. You should already have it, or it's on its way. It'll be in the stores in another week or so. But congratulations, Brandon. We hope you dig that feature. There's a bundle coming at you.
Right on.
I love doing that.
Well, and it's long been like, I used to get people every once in a while that would throw us nut shots about how, you got to be a big famous builder to be in, on the cover or be in the magazine. And like, you don't.
Yeah.
You just can't be a dick.
Yeah, right.
Because if you're a dick,
Exactly.
you're never getting in the magazine. I don't care, because it's the story. And if I have to write, wow, this guy had a bitchin' bike, but he's such a dick, I'm just not going to write that story.
Yeah, luckily that bike runs good, because it has to haul a lot of ass hat. So.
She was so great. I showed her, like I said, before I put it to print. I'm like, hey, check this out. And she screamed, and then she cried, and then thought I was BSing her. She's like, that's not real. She thought I was totally joking.
So. He has a lot to be proud for. He builds some amazing machines. So
they're good people
yes,
too.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Some of the fun people to hang out with. They're normal. I mean, I'm going to use that term super loosely, but they're
normal.
Just normal, fun people.
So let's go through some Sturgis pictures while I'm gonna put you guys on the spot and ask you to talk about some of your Sturgis highlights.
Oh,
boy, that's
so this is from the these are all from the Cycle Source Flickr account. So if you are a member of Flickr, or if you go there,
I think that's from Perowit's Paint Show.
Flickr.com. You can check out a bunch of our pictures, Missy's pictures, everybody that was with us there.
I love that picture.
Just some great stuff. Because of Sturgis Live, we got to go to everything this year in one way or another. We were at the Jack Pines for, a couple different flat track races, pro and amateur. We were at the Hill Climbs pro and amateur. Mm-hmm. We were at the drag races pro and amateur. We got to go on all the rides, and then our own events were absolutely off the hook.
They were so good.
The Iron Horse, yeah.
So I have two favorite days of Sturgis every year, and actually this year I think I enjoyed it more than most. Our ride day, our run to the line, I think was my favorite day of Sturgis this year.
Okay, hang on one second.
Hold on, Poppy. I use that loosely, just to let you know. So,
I gotta describe this real quick. I'm super pissed because I didn't get the supplies for
sausage
for Biker Olympic. Yeah,
we had that conversation while it was going on. I was upset about it.
Nobody hung a sausage.
No,
this
they didn't have one.
This is the deal. If you show up for Weenie Bite at one of our events, from this point on, forever is going to be the tradition. If you have the balls to be a man and get on the back of another man's bike and do the Weenie Bite, we are going to be traveling with a giant sausage, and that's just the deal. If you're a guy doing a Weenie Bite, you're taking a sausage to the face. So get ready from that here on in.
I can't say the only other good part about this was multiple times people had said they don't want mustard or they don't want this, that, so we made sure they got extra what they didn't want. So.
Look at Spacey getting down.
Right?
Oh, dude, that was
I
so
think
much
that was
fun.
my second favorite night.
So
the ride?
Yeah, we had a party at the Still Pony Campground called the Pimp and Hose. And it was, $250 for best pimp and $250 for best hoe. Yeah. But you wouldn't think, with everybody, the big tough biker thing, that so many people would come out. Wait, I'm jumping ahead. That so many people would come out. But this right here was just an example of the people that were in the crowd, man. Like that. This
solid gold dancers. Oh my god.
Solid gold dancers. You can see one in the background.
They were great.
And this was our best pimp and best hoe of the night. And we're still trying to figure out which was which.
Yeah, we don't know yet because she was actually
a picture of your shoes in there.
I don't know.
Chris had zebra striped high heel shoes with goldfish in the heels.
Look at that. That
strutted around.
That almost looks unreal. And how about our mini bike corral now? 8 bikes? We're traveling with 8 bikes.
God.
Yep.
Stacy won
California
everything.
Cowboy.
Dude,
The
Stacy
Cowboy-
for president.
The Cowboy kicked ass in Sturgis this year with that bike, and listen, it's a bike after my own heart. I love them.
We're running Spacey for president this year. That's pretty awesome.
This was our bike show at the Iron Horse. Oh, these were great, man.
Yeah.
Oh, Dennis Stauber. Yes,
Yes.
he's watching now.
Yep.
Dennis, thank you.
Presented
for our
us with these
bobbleheads.
great little bobbleheads.
Dude, and they're awesome.
Yep.
The one is on my stand next to my TV right now. It's pretty
Mark,
cool.
did you get a Garden Gnome bobblehead?
No, I got a really cool wire motorcycle that goes with all my odd made
I didn't see
different
that.
material. I have
Yeah,
a bunch
Dennis-
of different motorcycles made out of different odd things I really like.
Dennis was so awesome. He took the time to haul us individual gifts out to Sturgis, and
So rad.
we got to hang out with him the day of our bike show.
Yeah, it was really weird because the dude came up and handed me a sock.
And
And I was like totally freaked out.
I remember
didn't-
thinking that
I didn't
too.
really know what it
because
was.
listen, hey,
Yeah.
you don't know how shit's gonna go.
Oh, right,
you
right.
know what I mean? But this was, if you didn't see the video of us putting this stuff together, like this was the roller that Paco gave for best of show this year, and I cannot say enough about how they came through, man. Because that thing, honest to God, like if you throw a little panhead or a flathead in that,
Yeah.
and a seat on it, I don't know that you had to do a whole bunch more.
Oh yeah, no, that thing was right on.
No, that was a killer shovel.
Yeah,
a
so-
killer roller. Jeez, I'm already thinking of.
Harlan.
we
Oh yeah,
picked up
and
a
Jack
shovel. I'm
Shit
like,
got a
can we
rubber
put
shit. I
that
just
in
saw
there?
he posted up there.
Did he?
He brought Jack Shit a piece of rubber dog shit. It was great.
Oh, it was so great. So
You and Aaron.
Michael Lichter's show this year, just overall, it was bikes. It was bikes from like across a maybe 20-year history of the industry, maybe even more.
Hey, and here's another thing that we can say. I mean, looking at the picture of Chris and Aaron on stage there, we're talking about all of these things and people having hard times. Aaron and Melody went home to the fires in San Francisco,
Yeah.
and they're on the edge. I was just here minutes ago texting back and forth with him. So, I mean,
And we're praying
get
for
the,
you, brother.
Yeah, we get the pandemic stuff and this and that, but keep in mind there's people going through some tragic things right now. Like these guys, he said, still smoky. They're not out of the water yet, but I mean, we're thinking about you guys, and hopefully everybody out there's okay. Love you guys a lot. And
Listen, I've decided after this year, after spending time with Jason Sims, he is actually one of my
dude.
favorite
Yes,
people
he
in the
is.
universe.
Oh,
Oh,
he's so
He's
great.
such a badass.
I know, and he's
and
like,
he has got by far some of the coolest stuff
Yes,
I
he
think
does.
I've ever
But
seen.
it's not even about his stuff.
It's him.
He
He's-
is such an undercover ball
Yes, he
buster.
is.
Oh
Right?
my
And
god!
And anybody knows, if you've ever stood in the side with me and hung out on a fence, or God forbid Jeff Fording was around, or Chris or Duke Miller, we're tough on people. And
Oh,
boy,
yeah.
Jason is fucking
He
awesome.
jumps right in there. Look at Billy.
Yeah, Billy badass.
Here's a thing for Tito's, or you can win that bike.
Yep. Heather,
Text 24587.
text
Tito's
24587
and-
or go to twistedtea.com and you get a chance for absolutely no investment. You don't have to buy a Twisted
Dude,
Tea.
that bike is so cool.
Yep. And he had fun riding it, so that was cool.
Oh,
I
Dude,
think
he-
he wishes he could keep it.
He
so I would.
already said he wants to know if he can just keep sending in and win himself. I'm like, you're not allowed to win it, Billy.
I think
He's
we need to
disqualified.
get together and just build Billy one of these bikes. If anybody has an unwanted Sportster that they would like to donate to the cause, we'll put the rest of the shit to it if we can get.
Dude,
What?
he literally texted me 50 times that day telling me what an effing badass bike that is, that he totally loves the shit out of it.
And that is our through lead sleds. That's our proprietary bobber frame. So you can see, as far as we're willing to go with bobbers, that's like a chop bobber. But,
Chobber?
A
What do we call that? A
chobber?
chobber?
a chobber.
Call it a
Compared to our 9.5 foot long
Yeah.
typical chopper, that's pretty bob.
I could fit 6 of them in the trailer.
Betsy. I
Oh.
love Betsy. She's like one of the coolest ladies ever.
Yeah,
Dude,
there's-
and so much fun. So much fun
Yes.
riding that bike.
that
through the
that
hills.
little conversation, us filming
So-
her and Jack shit was good.
This day here at Nemo Guest Ranch, I think that's one of my favorite days. Not only because we actually get away from Sturgis and ride, but this year I loved being able to hand out lunches.
Yeah.
That almost didn't make
That
it
was-
thanks to Pat's directions.
Oh, so for those of you who don't know, we do a ride every year. Chris has done it for 14 years. I think I've done it with him for the last 6 or so. We call it Run to the Line, and we always, wherever we go, we provide a lunch or whatever it may be. And this year we did sack lunches in honor of the late Pearl Hole. And I got so much joy in handing out lunches to everybody. And they all kind of were like, everybody was grateful and thankful, but they were also extremely impressed with the lunches that the Vale Country Community Church put together for us.
I don't know. I didn't get one, but that's okay.
And for you guys that
You
don't know,
declined.
Hey, I want to make sure everybody else got one.
for you guys that don't know, the reason we did that in honor of Pearl Hole at the 80th anniversary was the fact that for the first couple Jack Pine Gypsies, Pearl actually started the Gypsy Tour, took them to Custer Park, where they went to the lodge, and she handed out sack lunches. So there was a little card in there that told the story and everything, and we were just happy to be part of that tradition of Sturgis. So I have to bitch about this for a minute.
This about what?
Well, this was Aaron and Melody that came out for the Pimp and Hoe party, and like the rest of us were kind of like, going all out to make fun of ourselves. And I was super impressed that they came dressed for the party, but like they missed the point because they ended up getting the award for hottest couple of the night. Well, like they didn't look funny.
They look like they normally do.
They would have won that whether they dressed up or not.
Right.
Like, have you seen them?
They are so much fun. Those two may be two of my favorite people in the world right now. Just totally enjoy being with them.
Just right now, Mark?
Well, I'm saying, you come home from these all the time, and you get to spend Stacy, just with seeing him win, an older guy that literally was like a kid in Sturgis.
Can you see your shoes? Can you zoom into your shoes?
No, I can't zoom in. I don't know how to do that.
There's so many people you meet out there and you get to spend time with that you don't really ever get to spend time with.
Look, that was our Pimp and Hoe collective.
That was a good night.
It was so fun. And we had some great choppers. I mean, it was also the second ever Black Hills Boogie,
Oh, yeah, there were motorcycles.
Yep.
Well, we've come to...
What is Doug doing there? He's either pulled a small tick off of his body somewhere with tweezers, or...
It's Doug. He could be doing it.
Or he's...
I forget what that was. There's actually a story
roach,
behind
Heather.
that
it's
picture.
It's a roach.
I can't see. I'm looking at my phone screen.
Yeah, man, some great times.
We did come to a conclusion next year to enter the bike, you must be dressed.
Oh, that's what it was. It wasn't a roach, it was a screw. He was saying you want a screw.
I'm going to say it's a roach. This kid
was cool, too.
Oh.
Donnie.
Yep.
He built a mini bike
him and his grandpap, yeah.
Yeah, him and his grandpap. And he won.
Well, apparently we found out later on that he was having some issues and was all down and out. And you guys ran into him and gave him the parts that he needed to actually make it to the show.
Because we had a box full of mini bike parts.
Yeah,
How awesome is that?
Yeah.
It's
odd that we go to big bike rallies with a box full of mini bike parts.
Hey, you know what? People want to talk about, where it all starts.
Yeah.
You take a good long look at that kid again. You take a good long look at him. That's where it starts. He was so happy to be there.
Thankful.
Yep.
Oh my God! He had said that all of his heroes were there and came over and shook all of our hands, like all the people that he looks up to.
Poor kid.
And then he mentioned Pat Patterson. I'm like, dude, he's not your hero.
Yeah, stay away from Pat.
That's
back
bad
up.
idea.
Back up.
Not a good mentor. Nope.
So
Greg White just said Donnie won a race motor.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
that was pretty awesome. That kid was stoked when he got pulled up there for that award. You couldn't have given him any happier. So
a couple other news things to go through real quick that are not as great as Sturgis was this year. Looks like there's a trend happening. We actually have 3 Harley-Davidson dealerships to talk about. But starts off with, despite Harley-Davidson not co-hosting, Riders hit town amid scaled-back Milwaukee rally. This was outside of House of Harley. So, people coming to stuff regardless of what's going on. It seems like the Sturgis rally sort of set the tone for things to start turning around. Also happening in Durango. The Four Corners rally is going on, and it's reported through the Durango Herald that motorcycles rumble into Durango. On the bad side of the coin, Myrtle Beach Harley-Davidson's 80th annual fall rally approved by Department of Commerce. We are, at this moment, waiting for news on how Daytona is going to rule on Biketoberfest.
Yep.
As soon as we get
that.
But
as
news.
of right now, Chopper Time is a go.
Right. This is some of the downside to talk about. The 3 Harley-Davidson dealerships End of the road nears for Calumet Harley Davidson after nearly 3 decades. So nearly 30 years. They're actually talking about closing the doors there, or are closing the doors. Harley Davidson of Southampton closing its doors. This was, our buddy Rich was just under their employment. And I mean, this is another long-time dealership. And what was the last one that you had, Heather, was Barnett's?
Barnett's
Barnett's,
of
yeah.
Las Cruces, if I remember correctly. I can't open my file. I apologize. But another 3 in a week closing. 3
Yeah.
Harley dealers. It's
Which
not a great thing.
brings up an interesting subject. Judy's asking, do we know anything about Laconia?
You know, I don't have a lot of information on Laconia because I just don't think there was a lot to share. It really, in my mind, I cannot call it a motorcycle rally. I don't think what they did was a motorcycle rally. And personally, I think they did a great disservice to the history of that event.
Yep. Yeah, and the
You
reason
know?
she's saying that, for anybody that wasn't paying attention, by the time the rally actually started, the restrictions were so strict that there were no outdoor vendor permits.
Yep.
There were no outdoor beer gardens. There was
No
literally
entertainment permits.
no way for people to do
to
business.
the point that a lot of year-round establishments opted to close.
Yeah.
rather than even
For
try to
the
be
week?
open.
So-
Because the bitch about it was, and Heather brought this to my attention, the bitch about it was they turned COVID violations, they were connecting them to your liquor license. So
Yes.
if somebody was at the bar with a drink and stood up to greet a friend, that constituted a COVID violation and could get your liquor license
Yeah,
suspended.
revoked.
And who in the
Yes.
hell, especially with as rough as things are right now, wants to go through something
Yeah.
like that?
It's almost like they wasted your money coming to the event.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
shame.
it was sad. And again, I mean, this was to be the 97th Laconia motorcycle rally. It's so close to 100 years, and I know you want to cross that century mark, but you got to do it, in my opinion, do it the right way and honor the history that brings everybody there. You have to honor the love of motorcycles. That's why everybody goes.
But I'll tell you,
Well, we went for the house, but that's besides.
We went for the island.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what we'll make a pledge here is to have some more information. We'll try to get some real facts by next week and come back with that. But speaking of that, the reason I was bringing up the 3 dealerships and a bunch of the stuff that's going on, in a conversation with Pat Jansen last week, he was going over some things that he wanted to write down as his predictions. And we said, you know what? We should get you to come on to Shop Talk and talk about this on the record. But one of them has been for, God, it's been a year now that Pat's talking about the fact that one of the things that would save Harley would be if 30% of their dealer network was cut back. And what we're seeing a little bit in this is trend,
Funny
man. I
how
mean,
that's fallen in place.
so I think within the next week or here, we need to get Pat on and have that conversation.
His new nickname's
Yeah,
gonna be
he had
Kreskin.
some great. He had some really
great
great
question.
theories to
He
back
did.
up his predictions too. Like it was
did.
good
I
conversation.
hate to ever
so.
give him kudos, but Pat's a pretty smart character. So,
He just said Smitty part.
pretty part. I
Smarty
would
part.
never.
Smirty, smirty.
And I hope nobody
Birdie,
heard
birdie.
that
Birdie,
because I would
birdie,
never
birdie.
give Pat any credit. But he seems to have his shit straight.
All right, man. So this was just our reacclimation show. I want to thank everybody who came on the ride with Sturgis Live 80 Years in a Day. Like I said, you can go to Vimeo now, rent it for $3.99. You get it for 72 hours. Watch it with as many of your friends as you can. We're going to put links and stuff up talking about this so that we can try to get as many people watching this as possible. You can buy it for $9.99, and very shortly we're going to have some action on the old Amazon Prime deal, where we hope to, by the holiday season, have actual hard copy DVDs so that you guys can
Yeah,
pick
it's a
that
little
stuff
more
up.
involved than some of the other ones, but we're actively working on it.
Yep. Yeah.
I have a question for everybody that's watching. I want to know who they want to see on the show.
Yeah. Who you guys want us to talk to? Lance Baxter
Tell
would
us.
love to hear Pat's theories.
Well, not all of them, Lance.
No.
We spent some time with that.
Well, there's
boy.
some of them that are just not appropriate for polite company. I'll tell you.
But they're fun.
Yep. Yeah, right on, man. What was your question to everybody?
I want to know who
wanna
they want to see on the show.
Okay.
I do. I want to Billy Lane.
Billy Lane.
We've had Billy on a time or two
Billy's
before.
actually a great interview too, man.
He is.
He is.
Super informative guy.
All right. Well, this was our reacclimation show. We said we'll just get on and do an hour real quick. You know, we're already an hour and 20 minutes into the show, and like, man, it's so easy to spend time with you guys. Round the World
Greg,
Doug.
we just had Round the World Doug on.
Joe Martin, right on. So write these down, Heather.
Okay. Hey, be
Just
nice.
when you turn your back.
Hey, not to let you guys forget, we come to you live every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from the courtesy of the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio, street level.
Yeah, we're
recently
above
here.
the street actually right now.
Ron
Street
Finch.
street level in the Mobile Command Center. We're going to take 2 seconds before we let you guys go, and we're actually going to do a little product news for you. So stick around. We got some product real quick here.
Introducing the next level in battery technology. Our second generation lithium-ion battery delivers ultimate power in a lightweight package. By combining the latest in lithium iron phosphate cell technology with an onboard cell management system, the BikeMaster Lithium-Ion 2.0 battery
Burt Baker
is
back.
smart, safe, and powerful. A full-function internal battery management system provides individual cell voltage protection as well as cell balancing functions. Lithium iron phosphate cells provide power and safety with non-combustible cell constructions. Compared to lead-acid batteries, the lithium-ion 2.0 is up to 70% lighter. It's also capable of being recharged to 90% within 6 minutes on a 10-amp charge. By eliminating
shut up.
acids and heavy metals, such as lead, cadmium, and mercury, this battery is eco-friendly. The BikeMaster Lithium-Ion 2.0, keeping you going without weighing you down.
All right, so Mark said while we were on break there that Jack Shit suggests we bring Burt Baker back. Burt is like one of the all-time favorite interviews.
He is so much fun.
Oh my
He's
god!
so good.
Talk about
I think-
animated.
Oh yeah. You're
Now,
tired
next week, are
after
we going to be
after the
coming in
interview.
from?
What's that?
Are we going to be coming in from Arkansas next week?
Arkansas.
We're going to be with all the old bike guys.
You know, I'm not sure if we'll make this show for Arkansas, but yeah, we have a crazy schedule coming up. One of the things is, what is it? Next Saturday, we're going to be at the SNS Ranch in
SNS
Viola.
Cycles for Test and Tune. Yeah.
They're having a test and tune at the SNS Ranch at their track, and we're going to be on site doing some filming and stuff. So if you guys are in the area or looking for something to do to get the hell out of your state and your house, we're all heading to Wisconsin. Let's get it.
Oh, yep.
After that, we're heading to the very undercover musket ball. And if you don't know what that is, I can't tell you anything else about it, but
Very
we'll
proud.
bring you some live coverage there. And then it's on to Texas, where I get to record with the band.
Yes. What's an old bike guy?
It's an old bike.
Undercover
comma,
musket ball.
guy. Yeah, undercover musket ball.
Yeah. You know.
All
that
right.
thing that
Well, I guess that fulfills our reacclimation show. We're gonna come back to you next week with some regular programming. Get you some guests on here, so it's not just you listening to our stupid asses. But again, go check out Vimeo. Hit Sturgis Live. Thank you guys for all the support, and thanks to every single person that went to Sturgis that made a statement that we will not let fear run our lives. You can be safe, you can be courteous, you can be considerate of other people. Continue to live your lives, man, because whether it's a day, an hour, a minute, this is what you got. So until next week, same chopper time,
same chopper channel.
Bye, Felicia.